Welcome to this new chapter in your studies, brought to you exclusively by E-studylab. In this subject, you are stepping into the story of life itself, not just plants and animals, not just cells and organs, but the system that connects all living things, from the smallest bacterium to the tallest tree, and all the way to you. Before we look closely at cells or genes or ecosystems, it helps to pause and ask one gentle question. What exactly is biology? Biology is the scientific study of life. But it is not only about memorizing names or drawing diagrams. It is about understanding how living things grow, change, survive, adapt, and sometimes fail. It is the study of breathing and digestion. It is the science behind diseases and healing. It explains why muscles grow stronger with use, why plants bend toward sunlight, and how tiny invisible organisms can make someone ill or save a life through medicine. In a very real way, biology helps you understand your own body as deeply as it helps you understand the natural world. One helpful way to think about biology is to imagine it as a wide landscape that stretches from the smallest details to the largest systems. At one end, scientists study molecules, the invisible building blocks of life. At the other end, they study forests, oceans, and the entire planet as one living network called the biosphere. Some biologists spend their lives working with microscopes. Others work outdoors in forests and rivers. Some focus on animals, others on plants, others on bacteria. What connects them all is one shared interest: life itself. This is why biology is divided into different branches, not because life is separated, but because it's too vast to study all at once. When a biologist studies plants, that field is known as botany. When animals are the focus, the field becomes zoology. The study of tiny living things like bacteria and fungi is called microbiology. Genetics explores how traits are passed from one generation to the next. Ecology looks at how living things interact with their environment. Physiology focuses on how systems inside the body function. And evolutionary biology examines how life has changed over long periods of time. Each branch is like a window. Together, they all allow you to see the whole house. Now, let's move closer, not to forests or oceans yet, but to the smallest place where life actually begins. That place is the cell. Every living thing, from a tree to a fish to your own body, is built from cells. Some organisms are just a single cell. Others, like you, contain trillions of them. But the rule remains the same. If something is alive, it is made of cells. Cells are not just tiny containers. They are living systems in themselves. Each one takes in nutrients, releases waste, produces energy, and responds to its environment. It may help to imagine each cell not as a grain of sand, but as a behaving little city, complete with power stations, transport routes, factories, and communication systems. Some cells are simple. Bacteria, for example. They contain no nucleus and no internal compartments. These are known as prokaryotic cells, the simplest type of life structure. Other cells, like human and plant cells, are more complex. These are called eukaryotic cells, and they contain specialized parts called organelles, each with a job to do. If the cell were a city, the nucleus would be the government office holding important information. The mitochondria would be the power plants. The ribosomes would be factories that produce proteins. The cell membrane would be the city gate, deciding what comes in and what goes out. And just as a city relies on the cooperation of many parts, so does a living cell rely on every organelle working in harmony. But a cell does not work alone. Inside every cell are chemicals called biomolecules, which make life function. These include carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. You meet them every day, even if you don't realize it. Carbohydrates are your body's fuel. Proteins build and repair your tissues. Lipids store energy and protect organs. Nucleic acids, including DNA, carry the instructions that tell your body how to grow, develop, and function. One lovely way to imagine this is to think of your body as a living machine, powered by food, repaired by proteins, protected by fats, and programmed by DNA. This is not biology in a laboratory. This is biology at work every second in you. As we end today's session, I'd like you to notice something simple the next time you eat, breathe, or move. Each tiny action is powered by billions of cells working silently together. Life does not shout as it functions. It whispers, constantly, through systems you are only now beginning to hear. You may be surprised how much meaning is hidden in that quiet moment. A reminder that this lesson is protected by copyright and is owned by eStudyLab. In our next session, we'll step inside the cell itself and explore its parts in more detail, discovering how structure and function work together to keep life running smoothly.